About 50% of transaction-oriented jobs in India are going to be automated in the next 2 to 3 years. Did you know that? We have moved on from the digital age to the age of artificial intelligence and automation called the hyper-automation age. So why should we be concerned about automation? Because robots have learned how to copy human actions, human voice, and human cognition. This means that using technologies like robotic process automation, conversational AI, and machine learning, we have created a digital worker that is able to replace our work. The worker is doing transaction-oriented jobs today, and tomorrow will be able to do some of the decision-oriented jobs. A lot of jobs like data entry jobs, telemarketing, financial analysis, customer support are likely candidates for automation. So if you're working in any of these areas, you need to be concerned. Now the bigger question is, how do we stay ahead of technology? How do we stay ahead of bots? World Economic Forum conducted a study called The Future of Jobs, where they spoke with senior executives in organizations across the world, and they identified 5 skills that professionals of today need in order to succeed in their career. The 5 skills are problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, and collaboration. I repeat, problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, and collaboration. Let me talk about each skill in detail. Problem solving. Now we all have heard of problem solving, and we all do problem solving in some way or the other. However, problem solving is a very structured approach towards solving a business problem or issue. Now many of us don't follow the structure properly, and that's where we fail. The structure is as follows. First step is to understand and define the problem correctly. Second step is to understand the requirements of all the stakeholders who are involved in solving the problem. Third is to list possible options that could be considered as solutions. Fourth is finalize a solution, which is the best possible solution to a problem. Fifth, implement. Sixth, evaluate the solution and document it. Now, it's important that we follow this structure of problem solving correctly in order to identify the right solution to the problem. The second skill, critical thinking. Critical thinking is a process of objective evaluation of facts or data and considering multiple options or solutions to a problem or issue. Why is critical thinking important? Because it helps in correct diagnosis of the problem. It helps in identification of root causes. It also encourages you to think of solutions that you have not thought before. Third, it minimizes bias, especially when there are other team members who are involved or other stakeholders who are involved in the decision. When you rely on data, you minimize bias in decisions. How do you develop critical thinking? Now, in order to develop critical thinking, you need to first ask a lot of questions till you fully understand the problem. Then you evaluate different possible solutions to the problem with the help of data. And finally, you document lessons learned from your past projects, review it, and learn from it. The third important skill is creativity. Creativity involves coming up with a new idea or a solution. It has 2 dimensions to it. One, innovation, where you're improving an existing product or a service. And 2, invention, where you're creating something new, a new product or service. How do you develop or hone creativity? Well, first and foremost, you need to be curious. You need to fire up your imagination. You need to think outside the box. Think of ideas or solutions that were not thought by others before. 2, You need to be willing to fail. Failure is an important part of the creative process. So you need to be willing to accept failure. Thomas Alva Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the right light bulb, and he still did not give up. Remember that. And 3, you need to have a positive mindset, because in the creative process there will be stages where you will be frustrated, you will not get the results that you want. During the low phase, you need to pump yourself up, you need to keep your morale high. So the best way is to think positively and surround yourself with positive people. The 4th skill, people management. People management involves getting work done effectively through people around you. The people could be your subordinates, that is your team members, your peers who are at the same level, and your superiors, your bosses. How do you develop or hone people management skills? In order to be a good people manager, you need to develop emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence has 4 dimensions to it. First one is understanding yourself, which is understanding your emotions. Managing self, which means managing emotions. Understanding others, which means understanding feelings and emotions of others. Managing relationship with others. So you need to work on these aspects of emotional intelligence. 2, I'll share a golden rule which will help you in improving your people management skills, and that is, when you work with your subordinates, you need to inspire them to get work done. When you work with your peers, you need to collaborate with them to get work done. And when you work with your superiors, you need to understand and align with their goals to get work done. The 5th skill is collaboration. Teamwork and collaboration are the very essence of work. Except for a few deep research-oriented jobs, most of the jobs in the world require teamwork. How do we develop your collaboration and teamwork skills? 1 is to develop good emotional intelligence, and 2, you need to be a good listener. Most of us have tendency to speak and argue and debate, but we are not good listeners. So we need to work on our listening skills in order to improve our collaboration and teamwork skills. And finally, we need to build trust and respect with the people we work with. So let me summarize. In this age of automation, it's very important that professionals learn and hone these 5 critical skills: problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, and collaboration. If you have any comments or questions, please share below. Thank you.